Forget Wall Street or the White House. If you want to see a real masterclass in absolute power, you have to look behind the bronze doors of the Vatican, where the rules of human logic simply cease to exist. Have you ever wondered how an organization manages to outlast every single empire, corporation, and TikTok trend for over 2,000 years without ever having to update its terms of service or launch a rebranding campaign? The answer is that the Vatican isn't just a church, it is the ultimate masterclass in the art of human logic, or rather, the lack of it, wrapped in a cloak of divine mystery and red silk. Forget about your Silicon Valley CEOs with their gray t-shirts and ego trips, because in Rome, the real power is wielded by men in floor-length robes who have turned keeping a secret into a multi-billion-dollar business model. It all starts at the very bottom with the Swiss Guards, a group of elite soldiers who are essentially the high-fashion gophers of the religious world. To get this job, you must be a single Swiss male, under 30, at least 5'8", and willing to wear a uniform that looks like a Renaissance-era acid trip while carrying a halberd in the age of drone warfare. They are the ultimate invisible labor, standing perfectly still while holding secrets that could make a mafia boss sweat, proving that humans will believe anything as long as the person saying it looks like they stepped out of a 16th century painting. Moving up the ladder, we encounter the priests and bishops, the associates of this holy syndicate, who are scattered across every corner of the globe. These are the boots on the ground, ensuring that influence and, more importantly, data are kicked up to the central hub with a level of efficiency that would make a Google SEO algorithm look like a broken typewriter. But the psychological open loop really tightens when we reach the Roman Curia, the administrative executives who operate behind the bronze doors. This is where the logic gets truly sharp and slightly terrifying. These are the brains managing international diplomacy and astronomical wealth, while the rest of us are still trying to figure out how to use a PDF editor. Then there is the College of Cardinals, a circle of trust so exclusive that their only job description is to wait for the current boss to pass away, so they can lock themselves in a room with no Wi-Fi until they see white smoke. It is a recruitment process so archaic that it defies every modern HR law, yet it is so effective that it maintains a monopoly on the souls of over 1 billion people. At the very peak of this pyramid sits the Pope, the boss of bosses who possesses absolute power, but lives in the most profound isolation, proving the ultimate human paradox, that the more people you lead, the fewer people you can actually talk to. This entire structure functions like a flawless set of falling dominoes, where every rank serves to protect the core, creating a borderless empire that exists everywhere and nowhere at the same time. We often laugh at these outdated traditions, but as we watch modern governments and tech giants crumble under the weight of their own transparency, we have to ask ourselves a stinging question. Is the secret to eternal power actually about staying relevant? Or is it about creating a world so beautifully illogical that time simply forgets to pass it by? The genius of this hierarchy isn't just in its longevity, it's in the psychological retaining walls it builds around its secrets. While modern corporations obsess over transparency reports and open-door policies that everyone knows are fake, the Vatican leans into the mystery, understanding a fundamental flaw in human logic. We don't actually want the truth, we want a story that feels bigger than us. This is why the transition from the Curia's administrative shadows to the absolute visibility of the papacy works so well. It's a masterclass in pattern. Interrupts one moment you're looking at a bureaucratic machine, and the next you're staring at a figure who, by sheer virtue of his rank, claims to be the bridge between the finite and the infinite. It's a bold claim that would get any CEO laughed out of a board meeting, yet here it's the foundation of a global empire. But don't be fooled by the silence and the incense. This is a high-stakes game of steel pace, where every decree and every silence is a calculated move to buy another century of relevance. They have mastered the open loop better than any Netflix screenwriter, promising answers to the universe's biggest questions while keeping the actual ledger of their power under lock and key. Even the way they handle dissent is a lesson in power dynamics. They don't cancel you. They simply outweight you, knowing that in the grand timeline of Rome, your protest is just a temporary glitch in a 2,000-year-old operating system. This brings us to a stinging realization about our own modern world, where we trade our privacy for free apps and our loyalty for 24-hour news cycles. We think we are the pinnacle of logic, yet we are still captivated by the same shadows and symbols that governed our ancestors. So as the world outside races toward an uncertain digital future, the Vatican remains a stationary giant, a living fossil that continues to breathe. It forces us to look in the mirror and ask, in our desperate rush to innovate everything, have we accidentally thrown away the only thing that actually lasts? Or are we just the latest generation of associates, unknowingly serving a system that will be here long after our names are forgotten? The most delicious irony in this whole divine organization is that the more holy the rank becomes, the more it starts to resemble a high-stakes corporate takeover, where the shareholders are saints and the dividends are eternal souls. Take the underbosses, officially known as the substitutes, who operate on a razor's edge of human psychology. These are the men who have to be strong enough to run the entire family business when the boss is out of office, yet submissive enough not to scare the man wearing the fisherman's ring. It is a classic human logic error. We create positions of immense power and then act surprised when the people filling them actually want to use it. This is where the Vatican's retention engineering truly shines. They don't just give you a title, they give you a soul, deep connection to a narrative that makes your personal ambition look like a cheap plastic toy in a cathedral made of marble and gold. While Wall Street traders are sweating over quarterly earnings, these holy executives are playing a game of steel pace, where every sentence they speak is designed to buy the next sentence in a story that never ends. They have mastered the rule of 15 seconds by constantly shifting the mood from the terrifyingly serious to the beautifully absurd, keeping the global audience in a state of perpetual open-loop curiosity. We think we are watching a religious ceremony, but we are actually witnessing a 20-year-old masterclass in pattern interrupts, where the incense and the Latin chants serve as the ultimate sensory distraction from the fact that we are looking at the most successful, non-transparent, and unregulated data mining operation in history. We claim to value free will, yet we are the first to line up to see a man whose primary power is that he is the only one allowed to tell the board of directors that they are wrong. In our modern rush to move fast and break things, we've forgotten that the most powerful thing you can do is move slow and break nothing, because when you own the clock, you never have to worry about being late to the future. It's a stinging reminder that for all our AI and space travel, the human brain is still hardwired to bow before the mysterious, proving that the most effective way to control a crowd is not with a whip, but with a vanishment of boredom wrapped in a cloak of ancient authority. The ultimate glitch in human reasoning reaches its peak when we look at the very top of this holy pyramid. We spend our lives striving for individual freedom, yet we are perversely fascinated by the Pope, the boss of bosses, who possesses total power, but literally has no peace and no retirement plan. It's a position where replaced historically meant executed by the passage of time, or at least staying on the throne until you die in a hospital bed or behind cold stone walls. We call this divine service, but from a cold, logical perspective, it's the world's most gilded cage. This is where the soul of the story truly hits home. We've created a system so heavy in emotion that we stop seeing the humans inside it. We see the robes, the gold, and the 20-year-old brand, but we ignore the serious error that the most powerful man on earth is the only one who can't walk down the street to grab a slice of pizza without an international incident. The Vatican has effectively closed the loop on human history by proving that as long as you provide satisfaction through tradition and dramatic visuals, people will never question the boring data of how the power is actually managed. We mock the outdated nature of a 15-second incense swing or a Latin prayer, but in reality, these are the ultimate pattern interrupts that prevent our modern distracted brains from realizing that we are still serving the same ancient logic. So as we sit in our smart homes surrounded by cutting-edge technology, we are still waiting for that puff of white smoke to tell us what to think. It's the ultimate twist in the story of humanity. We think we've escaped the past, but we're just associates in a 20-year-old game where the rules never change, only the players do. Are we truly the masters of our own logic? Or are we just hardwired to find comfort in a secret hierarchy that promises us an answer we're too afraid to find for ourselves? This brings us to the ultimate open loop in the Vatican's grand design. We think we are the ones watching them. But in reality, they have been watching us for 20 centuries, perfecting the art of retention engineering before the word algorithm even existed. They understand that while human technology evolves human psychology, our deep-seated need for emotion structure and pace remains exactly the same. We are all just associates in a story that began long before us and will continue long after we've been disappeared by history. So the next time you see that white smoke, ask yourself, is it a sign of divine selection, or is it the world's most successful pattern interrupt designed to keep you from noticing that the most powerful empire on earth doesn't need an army, it just needs your curiosity? If this deep dive into the secret hierarchy made you question everything you thought you knew about power and logic, then you've officially entered the circle of trust. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next investigation into the hidden systems that run your world. Because in this channel, we don't just tell stories, we complete the loop. What do you think is the most illogical part of this 20-year-old business model? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's start a conversation that even the Swiss Guard couldn't silence.